Hey, welcome to another episode of Geekly Revealed. It's a show that brings you geeky pop culture news on a weekly basis. As always, it's me, it's your host, Dom, aka Brother Dom, all over the internet. And once again, I am joined by the top patron of Olive Garden and Zillow. Would you like to tell people who you are?
Hey, I love that endless possible. What can I say? It's me, Stephanie, aka Captain Steph on Twitter, the Snow Queer on Tumblr, Hello Steph on Instagram, and host/co-host of Character Reveal.
Hey, it's us, Steph. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. This 3-day weekend is treating me right, man.
Oh yeah, you do have a
relaxed
3-day
yesterday.
weekend.
Yeah, it's crazy. I had relaxed yesterday. I chilled today. Got some stuff done. Did so many dishes. And then tomorrow I'm gonna chill again. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna feel so relaxed.
Awesome. That's good to hear. Relaxation's great. I'm
to relax.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm doing fairly well myself, all things considered. My stomach's been hurting, so that kind of sucks, and the job hunt is going. But besides that, life could be worse, and I'm happy to be blessed and privileged enough to be able to say that.
That's the spirit.
Getting some good game time in, getting some
Nice.
podcast stuff done, playing a lot of Wargroove with the homies. So life is fun. Watch some Overwatch League this weekend.
Keep getting little notifications on my Switch. Brother Dom's playing Wargroove.
No, it's me. I'm there.
That's what he does.
But also I've been watching some Overwatch League this weekend, and it's been great because let's go
nice.
Fusion. The boys are killing it. It was their opening weekend. They had their homestand in Philadelphia.
A Philly team.
You know what? It's when there's not a Pittsburgh team, it's not as bad.
True.
And it's not so bad. It's not so bad. Gritty was there because I guess he's a mascot of the city now. I don't know how that really happened.
I'm into that.
But I like it.
I'll accept that.
He shows up to the Overwatch League with a Philly Fusion jersey, but also like a hockey helmet, and there were some cheerleaders, I think. It was a whole thing, and the team walked out. I like this home game format they got going on.
I love that they made a gritty-sized Philly jersey. That makes me happy, Fusion jersey.
Why not? I mean, I don't know what size it is, because he's kind of Grimace triangle-shaped. So I don't know if it's just like a 3X or if they had to make a specialty one. I'm sure they did. But I mean, I'm glad they have. I think they do have some big size jerseys you can buy for larger fans. Everybody get those. Because I think you see people in the crowd have some larger jerseys. That's good that they're inclusive that way.
Yeah, for sure. I wasn't sure what the dimensions of Gritty's torso were.
See, I don't know if anybody knows. That's why I'm confused, because his waist is not the shape of a normal waist. It looks like it's a hula hoop the way he shakes it, and his eyes rotate. It's a very disorienting image to see the character dance. But we have some stuff to talk about today. It's been a fun week. Last time we talked, it was right before the Oscars, which is really weird to talk about them a week later.
Yeah, we were recording over the start of the Oscars.
But there were some good winners, actually. I'm happy with how it went.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you watch any of it?
I watched part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, my roommate was watching it without her headphones in, and I was, as is pretty par for the course for me for the last 3 weeks, just listening to the Magnus Archives on my headphones and playing Okami. Man, there's so much crime in Brooklyn.
Oh man, it is a shame.
But this is what they mean when they say "fuck the police."
That's it.
Stop over policing Crown Heights so that we can fucking record an episode without a siren in the background.
Exactly.
That is very, very tongue-in-cheek to all of the people on Twitter. Anyway.
It's very true. Obviously, I don't know. Obviously.
They should stop over-policing Crown Heights for a number of reasons. That low on the list, but still included among them.
Yeah, it might be the one that's last on the list.
Yeah.
But it's still there.
But it's still there. The list is still on the list. But anyway, so I did watch them somewhat. getting up to go to the bathroom when whoever was giving a speech said that was like, when workers of the world unite, like everything, like we can seize power or something like that, and I slid back into the living room with like my fist up, like, yeah. It was like I was looking for you.
I don't know who that was. I didn't see
it was
any
like
of it.
it wasn't like an actor or something. It was like someone who had won, maybe for American Factory.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the documentary when they were like,
oh, gotcha,
like
gotcha.
When workers of the world unite, like, and I was like, yeah, that's the shit.
We should unite. But I guess we could talk about some of these winners. Let's see. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix won for Joker, Best Actor. That's interesting, I guess, right? Like, most people were saying, even if they did or didn't like the movie, that his performance was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And also, to hear my sweet keyboard, Joker also won Best Original Score.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Someone said it's kind of a shame that some of the best wins for women were from the Joker. Which, weird thing, but hey, you know what? I'm glad.
Hey, we live in a society and we've got to get the Oscars out to someone.
Look, I'm glad. Anytime women can get Oscars, that's a good thing, since unfortunately y'all are underrepresented in a lot of these things. What else? I mean, Little Women got achievement in costume design, which is looking at the other.
And costumes were really good, but we're looking at the other
nominees there. It's like, that's okay, sure. I think they should have been nominated for other things, but fine. There's something else I wanted to talk about. One of the animated things. So yeah, Hair Love won Best Animated Short, I believe.
Yeah, man, I like that is the like manifestation energy that I need to cop for my life.
Yeah, this man on Twitter was like, "Yo, I got an Oscar-worthy idea," and he 3D artists, and then like 2-3 years later, he's like, "Nailed it." It's a good short too. I actually got to watch it the next day, and it's really cute.
So do you want to tell the kids what it's about?
I mean, it's basically a short story about a young black girl wants to have her hair done pretty nicely, and her dad doesn't quite know exactly how to do it. Within the black community, I mean, we all grow roughly like similar hair, but if you keep your hair with the Caesar cut, you're never going to have to do it because it's always short, you know? As with most of the racial groups on this planet, various genders have different hair standards, but this young girl has a lot of like big hair. She wants to get it done, and her mom is unavailable. I missed the beginning of it. I was watching it with some people, but her mom is currently unable to do that. So she finds some YouTube tutorials that are from her mom, and her dad watches them, and eventually he fights with the hair. It's difficult, but learns to do it and does really nicely. And they go see her mom / his wife, I guess, who's in the hospital, who looks like she just finished chemotherapy or something. And she's like, "Oh, hey, your hair's done. It's great. It's really cool." And the family's happy and celebrates and goes home and stuff. It's just really sweet and cute and very relatable with, I don't know, just like remembering getting my hair done when I was younger. I used to have braids, cornrows, if people are.
I remember that.
It. Yeah, had them from like, I didn't cut my hair from the 6th grade picture day all the way until spring break of college freshman year. So it was like about 13 inches, and it's getting close now, or not close, but getting longer again. But I just remember like having to get my hair parted and my scalp greased, and how much it hurt, but it like looked really cool. And I ended up watching a lot of One Tree Hill because that's the show my mom watched when she braided my hair. It's a very weird show to watch. Why like getting your hair done it was a very black activity, and watching One Tree Hill was very much not that. So I had a fun childhood growing up. But the short was really nice, and the animation obviously was beautiful. It was cool that they did something that Disney didn't do, and they found the way to harness the emotional weight of the dead mom trope without having to fridge a woman, because she's like, "Yo, actually, I'm alive here." It's like, "Oh man, I was sad like you weren't there, but you're still here, and you actually had a lot of impact on this because it was your skills that helped," and that made me smile. And it's always cool to see. I mean, we shouldn't be giving people cookies for doing what you're supposed to do, but we are at that point in society, and it is nice to see.
Yeah, I mean, they gave Toy Story 4 Best Animated Feature.
Oh no, so. I was more referring to, it's nice to see like a dad do his daughter's hair.
Okay, I thought you meant like it's nice that the Oscars actually
no
like some meaningful culturally relevant story.
Oh no, that's true too. We'll get to that, but you're absolutely right. That's accurate. I just was thinking about the plot of Hair Love still. It's nice to see men be involved in their daughter's life. Shocking that you would care about your children. But it is nice. They didn't make it seem like it was a stretch. It just seemed like that's something she always did with her mom. And then he was like, oh, he obviously is part of his daughter's life.
Mom's not here right this very second.
Yeah, so he tries to put a hat on it, and she's like, no, we're not doing that. You're going to do my hair. And I thought it was cool. So that meant a lot to me and to a lot of people. And a lot of people who helped kickstart it, and, to get this short made, which is just showing the power that, like, it's good stuff out there. People just sometimes need a chance. Yeah, that's such a cool thing
about, like, there's such sometimes it's weird, or, like, things that otherwise should get made because of, like, crowdfunding, or, like, there's such a weird divide. Like, it's the same as, like, having, like, Netflix be at the Oscars. Like, there's, like, some, like, can this thing that was, like, just streaming be an Oscar winner? And it's like, now it's like, no, this thing that was made as a result of a Kickstarter, that we're in the future, like. Yeah,
and I think it really points to that thing where, like, we talk a lot about,
and it was a New York Times bestseller.
Nice.
The picture book. So.
Oh, that's cool. So it's like, when we talk about stuff like affirmative action or diversity and stuff like that, we're not talking about giving people handouts. It's really about giving people the opportunity or the chance. So getting, like, something kickstarted, people still needed the skills and the talent to draw this, to animate it, to write it, to score it, to rig the 3D. It's not that we said, hey, this is the best just because it's about Black people or that you're there. That's not what people want. But there's something about, hey, I got the help just to make it a reality. Now I can show what my skills are. So sometimes we say we need more voices out there. It's just about giving people the chance to show it. And if it doesn't have the skills, that's fine. People aren't asking to be rewarded for nothing. They just want to be able to sit at the table or to be we want a chance to be in the kitchen to cook, like, we want to show you that we can cook too.
Yeah, exactly.
And it wasn't up against nonsense. I mean, we saw Kit Bull, which was also very beautiful.
Kit Bull was so cute.
If it wasn't for Hair Love, Kit Bull I would have rooted for it, and that's a good short to lose to.
Yeah.
Anything else we want to talk about? I mean, like, Best Picture, like, Parasite came in and did some work. That was cool.
Yeah, I was like, I was super excited. I mean, so I like Bong Joon-ho for a number of reasons. One of them is apparently he's the guy who made Snowpiercer.
Yeah, I just found that out the other day.
Several years ago now. Have you seen Snowpiercer?
No, I know, like, the Willy Wonka theory that people made up. And I know Chris Evans is in it, right?
Yeah, Chris Evans and Tilda Swinton. I think Viola Davis is in it. Yeah, it's it was really good, and really, like, similar to, I haven't seen Parasite, but what I understand of Parasite, also, like, a very heavy indictment of, like, class and wealth. And it was,
Bong Joon-ho is like, yo, fuck capitalism.
Yeah, but, like, it was supposed to be released by Weinstein Company in the US.
Oh, yeah, I think I heard this story before, yeah.
Yeah, and Bong Joon-ho wouldn't make the cuts that Harvey Weinstein wanted him to make to the movie for the US release, and so he, like, basically just, like, didn't do anything for it when they released it here. So,
that's trash.
The fact that, like, not only is he, like, a cool dude making movies about class issues and setting a record for the first international feature to also win Best Picture.
Yeah.
But,
also dropping that middle finger to Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
Who, deserves a middle finger or two.
Do you know, I learned from Twitter, because sometimes Twitter is garbage and sometimes Twitter is informative. The two things that I learned from Twitter during the Oscars that I found very fascinating.
What were that? What were they?
The first thing is that someone was speculating, like, after the Oscars, like, if they may switch around what makes it so you can qualify for a Best Picture award next year, because in, like, 1992 or whatever, when Beauty and the Beast came out, it was nominated for Best Picture because there was not a Best Animated Feature category. And after that, they made a Best Animated Feature category because they were like, we can't let a cartoon compete in the Best Picture category anymore. Like, we can't let this happen again.
That's awesome. That's so good. That makes me happy.
So I wonder, like, if there's going to be, like, a, like, English language qualification or something going forward, because we can't take a step forward without taking a step back.
I don't know. I heard some people talking about stuff like that related to the international film category, because apparently I think it used to be foreign language, but then they changed it to international feature film. Because people were pointing out, like, when that one guy was like, man, some American movie should have won, like 1917. That wasn't an American movie.
Yeah, that's a British movie, my guy.
But it wasn't up for Best International Film Feature because that category they just changed the name instead of actually changing what it meant.
Yeah.
And it's not even like it just means like Asia, like Poland, France, and Spain are also like in like some of these films. So it's like, no, it really is international. So I don't know. There's a lot of things the Oscars could do to try to level fields and make other, like, I've heard some of the rumblings about should there be like a Best Female Director category.
It's like such a tricky question because is it ghettoizing to separate out those awards by gender?
Yeah, I think so. But that's also what they did with actor and actress as well, because they weren't giving awards to the actresses.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's on the one hand, it's like, yeah, you're really saying that these two can't compete. On the other hand, you are giving the chance for more people to get awards, and you're also saying, hey, it doesn't.
We acknowledge that we're just really nominating Best Male Director every year.
Yeah, and additionally, you give people the chance to speculate. Like, let's see, who had Best Actor and Actress, real quick. We have Best Actor was Joaquin Phoenix, and Best Actress was Renee Zellweger, yeah. As leads. Who did a better job? We can always debate that because they're not in competition with each other. Some would say Joker because he does a made-up character. Some would say Judy because that was a real person. I think the Academy would probably pick, well, I don't know. What's stronger, their love for people playing other people or their sexism? I don't know. It's a good question who would win between Joaquin and Renee. However, that's two people that got an award instead of having just one of them. And really a lot of this is just about business, so it benefits Hollywood for there to be male-female distinctions, but then that doesn't even account for what if, once we start to be a decent society, what happens when you have like a non-binary director? Which one do they get to win?
Yeah.
If you have a non-binary actor or actress, would they go by actor or actress? Like, actor seems to be the catch-all term, but that's just the same way that like man is the catch-all term. It's not that. So I don't know what we do about that, but I think I don't know. The Oscars could definitely do better. I mean, it's dope that Parasite won. It's dope that Taika Waititi won and then put his Oscar underneath his seat.
Cool that Bong Joon-ho won multiple Oscars and then made them kiss backstage.
Yeah, just a guy who really deserved to win, by all accounts. I haven't seen Parasite, but I'm just saying, like, what a lot of people said, and people that I know that watch movies were like, yeah, this is good. This is a good movie. I'm glad this won. They're like, maybe I would have picked this other one, but this one doesn't not deserve to win. And I can understand people saying maybe Parasite wasn't their favorite movie of the year. People have different tastes, but saying is like, I mean, these are all good movies. From what I can tell, Knives Out, Meritor, 1917, Once Upon a Time, ... in Hollywood, and Parasite. That's screenplay. Where's Best Picture? There's some other stuff in Best Picture too, but I don't feel like looking on this website anymore.
The other cool fact:
Ford versus Ferrari. No one thought that should win. Yeah, what's the other cool fact?
Anyone? The other cool fact I learned is that apparently the reason you saw the Laura Dern video. The hype-up video. We may have talked about this last week, but I've completely forgotten everything that's happened in my past because I have a Mento disease. But but I learned from Twitter that apparently the reason that Laura Dern has such a huge gay cachet is that she played the love interest in the episode of Ellen where Ellen came out.
That's right.
Or the romantic interest, and after that, she was blacklisted in Hollywood for 10 years. Her agent dropped her, and she couldn't get work, and she said, "I'd do it again in a heartbeat," because it meant so much to so many people.
I mean, that's a good thing to have those convictions.
I know, it's you I don't know if you had to wait tables or what, but I respect this.
I wonder what the hell Laura Dern was doing. I mean, she's loved by everybody though. I think she got a lot of traction on Twitter when it looked like she was dating that basketball player.
Oh, yeah.
Black Twitter was like, ayo, I mean, Laura Dern's still fine, though. Which, not saying that's all somebody's worth, but, I mean, Laura Dern looks pretty good.
It's true.
what I mean, and she was in Marriage Story. So I mean, I think I posted on Twitter. Every group of people likes Laura Dern, except for like shitty nerds that are mad about Star Wars, and thought
that's
that
true.
like
I think that's true.
I think those are the only people like, oh, Laura Dern. It's like, yo, she's not Captain Holdo though. That's people aren't their characters.
That's such complicated, like, truth for them to accept, like...
Yeah, that's what I mean, like, we should never harass people. I'm not gonna okay that, but you would think that when people were mad about Rose in The Last Jedi, they'd be like, hey, we need to say something to Rian Johnson, not Kelly Marie Tran, who definitely didn't write that movie or direct it.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, hey guys, they're like, no, I just didn't like the character. I'm like, didn't go after the writers. I mean, don't go after anybody, but like, why are you harassing this Asian lady other than the fact that she's Asian and a lady? Because it seems like that's why.
That seems like that's the reason, my guys.
Goodness gracious. Some stuff jumped around in my brain. I was thinking about Kelly Marie Tran. It made me think about Daisy Ridley, who is going to be on the next season of Drag Race.
Oh, yes, I saw that.
And there's a lot of issues one could, should, and would have with RuPaul. Probably also some good things. But, like, I'm not here to talk about RuPaul. I'm here to talk about the guests that are going to be on Drag Race next season are a very eclectic group of people, such as Daisy Ridley, AOC, Jeff Goldblum. I think Shaka Khan's going to be on there. It's like, where did this group of people come from? I think Nicki Minaj too, but it was just really weird. Like, yes, when I think of queer culture and drag, my first thoughts are AOC and Daisy Ridley.
Yeah, right.
I'm not mad or upset. It's just kind of like, oh, that's an interesting thing. So it's just kind of funny to me.
Yeah, it's funny.
But that's enough about. No, it's not enough about Movie Land. Man, I was about to make a great segue. It's enough about the Oscars, though.
You talk about another movie that's totally going to win some awards. Even they might be Razzies, but
I don't know. We saw a Sonic movie this weekend.
We sure did.
Not together, but we both saw it.
Can I provide a potentially hot take? I don't know.
Go for it. I mean,
how this will
go ahead.
Land. I wonder if so. The movie was good. It wasn't fantastic, but it was good. It was enjoyable. And I wonder if they had kept the horrifying human teeth Sonic, if it would have the same kind of memeable cachet that Cats did. Whereas now that it has a normal, regular-looking Sonic, it's just like a decent video game adaptation.
No, I think you're right. I think the fact that
not to in any way discount all of the intense work that was done, or the crunch that was put through to...
No. It's a fair question, to which I say, and I'm not saying this to diminish what you said, I'm going to say that it doesn't matter because we already got that trailer, so we have like a wealth of memes already.
We have the best of both worlds.
So like we got a decent looking movie also with the memes. Thinking about some of this, I just thought about something terrible. So yes, I think you're right, because it was in one of the trailers, so it's not much of a spoiler, but there's a point when they're in a motel room and Sonic's wearing like a towel and slippers and like a head towel. And it's already a little uncomfortable, like, yo, why does Sonic look like he's down to clown? But it would look way worse if it would have been, like, Man Sonic instead.
Yes.
But everyone's saying, like, yo, guys, this is already a meme. Apparently the movie was done. Just, when you make the DVD, just release the cut. Like, it's I don't know, like, when you release that movie, just, it's not like the Snyder cut that people were wanting that probably was never finished and probably has, like, test footage. This is a film that, for all accounts, was probably close to done. I would like to see some of those scenes with Crap Sonic in them. Just out of morbid curiosity. But I'm glad it looks this good version. I much prefer this good version. And we're going to do a big discussion about it like we did with like Avengers and Steven Universe and Star Wars. So look forward to that episode if it's not already out. I don't know how I'm going to edit these, but it's probably on the feed already. Yeah, it's on the feed. But do we have any non-spoiler takes about this? Like a review, I guess.
Gosh, it was really enjoyable, I think. I think it hit a good dividing line between, like, a good balance between, like, fun for kids to watch but also fun for adult fans of Sonic to watch. Like, there were enough, like, Easter eggs that weren't, like, ham-fisted or, like, too subtle.
Yeah.
And that would still be funny to people without the understanding of the meme that inspired it.
Yeah. I think it was also pretty good, honestly. It wasn't great. The fact that it has like a 95 on Rotten Tomatoes is a joke and people are bad at reviewing movies.
Yeah, that's bad.
But this whole debate between critics and audience, I think, needs to stop, because critics, I think, actually rate things appropriately. In the sense that, like, to them, like, a 5, like 5 to 6 is average, because that's average.
Yeah, that's the half.
But viewers or audiences tend to do things like in a American school system grading, whereas like anything below, like a 7 is average, a B is okay, or sorry, 7 is average, an 8 is okay, a 9's like, hey, that was a pretty alright movie, and 10's like, that was a great movie. It's like, okay, like, there's not a lot. I don't know. 95 is ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah,
everyone knows how much I
is...
love Sonic, and I'm like, I don't know, like a 7. Like, it was very competent, but like it's kind of like, okay, this is fine. Like, this is fine. I'm not.
Yeah, I'd give it like a 6.5 to 7 out of 10.
Yeah, and that's not like a slight. I liked it a lot. I'm probably gonna buy it when it comes out on. I always want to say DVD, but Blu-ray.
Whatever format.
I'll probably buy it when it comes out on a format, especially for special features and stuff like that. But like, come on, guys, this was a kids' movie with some blatant product placement in it.
Some really wild product placement.
Kind of like a shaky plot, like not even like in a CinemaSins kind of way, but like okay, this doesn't make any sense, but it's like for kids, like Robotnik's chasing them across 2 states, and like mild spoilers, I guess. Like the guys helping Sonic, they're like, hey, this guy's helping this creature, we should stop him, and that just kind of gets thrown out the window. Like nobody cares. It's like, oh, okay, like.
Or like the
bit
like that was in the bit that was in the trailer, like where they're like, "Do you have a child in there?" It's like, "Oh yeah, but it's not my child, so it's okay." And like those 2 people just like walk away.
Like, oh, okay, like that's a funny bit that would, I think, work like let's say a Deadpool movie, where it's like the humor's from the fact that these 2 adults aren't going to do anything about an abducted child. But this, it's kind of like, we don't want to like get into the specifics of why these adults should care, so they're not going to that much. They're just gonna be like, that's weird. You know, stuff like that, where it's like, this isn't awesome, but it's fine. Like, kids will enjoy it. Parents won't be annoyed too much by it. But I liked it. Yeah. Like you said, there were a lot of Easter eggs. You could tell that fans worked on this, or people that at least wanted to like do a really good source material thing. Like a lot of the poses that Sonic hits are from other media. When he's in the hotel, like bouncing off the walls, when he's like hanging off of something, like his like, oh no, I'm gonna fall, is like one of his old animations, but like with this Sonic. He pulls out a map at one point for all the different dimensions, and like the middle is like the world map from like one of the Sega Game Gear games, like the map of his island, and one of the planets is just the Sega Saturn logo, that's a weird thing to do. I don't know if I'd be like, hey guys, remember the Sega Saturn? Because I know you don't, but we do. But there's like stuff like that in the movie that was really fun.
The town that he's been hiding out in is called Green Hills.
Yeah, which is a very, I get why they were doing that. They were trying to be cute. But it's weird that he went to a town called Green Hills.
If he was trying to hide out?
No, the fact that he started the movie in, like, Green Hill Zone, like... And it's not like it's a plot hole or anything. It's just odd to me. Like, oh, that's a fun coincidence that he didn't seem to, like... I don't know, I would have made a joke about it or something. It's like, hey, I'm in Green Hill Zone, and I found one city that happens to be Green Hills. That's cool. He had a little sign for like Hilltop Road, or Hilltop something, which is another zone. So lots of little things like that they're not invasive. If you don't get the joke, you're not gonna feel bad about it. It's just like, oh, okay, that's a thing. There was like some nice music cues, like the song at the beginning was like one of the songs they used like in the Sonic Mania intro, which is weird that that's still getting play, but super awesome. Like, congrats to Game Chops and Hyper Potions for that song, like, getting legs, being like a sort of unofficial second theme song. I mean, there was a song at the end, which, like, it's weird that Wiz Khalifa does songs for, like, cartoon movies now. Like, he did the Ninja Turtles one, and now he did the Sonic one. Like, that's pretty weird, but, like, cute. You know, like, they did a lot of custom animation for, like, the credits song. There is an after-credit scene, or, like, a mid-credit scene, So stay for that.
Definitely.
But after you see the one scene and it goes back to the credits, like after this bright song, there'll be an after credit scene and then more credits. So if you don't care about looking at the credits, which you should give people the credit to see the credits, but there's no after credit scene after the one that is a pretty big spoiler.
Yeah,
but it made me smile, so that's cool. I've definitely stayed after movies for worse. Like when Guardians was like, "Hey, it's Howard the Duck." I'm like, "Hey, fuck you."
Yeah, hate this.
But I don't know. I think if we're looking for like a faithful recontextualization of anything from Sonic, they kind of just made the story all the way up.
Yeah.
Other than that, I thought it was nice. It was nice to see how Sonic got his shoes. That was a cute little moment that they didn't need to do. That was
cute.
There was a child actor who I think did a fine job. Normally child actors are pretty bad and you have to stretch your imagination, but for this, they're like, let's give him a couple lines. I'm glad Sonic recognized its roots and was like, hey, we need to have black people in this movie because black people really love Sonic. Which, that was cool. That made me smile that there were like black people in the movie that were like had real roles.
Yeah. It's one of the things that I've noticed a lot lately is like, even like not only were there like obviously like there were major like supporting roles for black people in this movie, but also the crowd scenes are diverse. Yeah, like they're not just like, here are a bunch of like white extras. Like
it was pretty mixed like extras, which was pretty cool. Despite the fact that it was like in Montana, which you could have like played that joke like, there's nobody here, but. No, it was pretty good. How do you like Jim Carrey?
Jim Carrey was doing so much work. He was amazing.
I don't like his comedic roles as much. I've never really been a fan of his like style of humor. I liked Yes Man and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which I know is very hipster of a movie to like, but Yes Man's not, and I thought that was alright. But I thought he did a really good job. I like his portrayal of Robotnik. It's a little different than what I would have maybe directed, but I don't dislike it. I like that Sonic still calls him Eggman because his stuff looks like eggs.
Yeah, I like that was how they
find a way to get there.
Push that in.
I liked his sidekick. His sidekick was kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's nice that there's a brown person in the movie too, just kind of chilling, and he got treated like a sidekick character because he was that. It is what it is. Anything else? I mean, I think it was fine, serviceable kids movie. Like I said, maybe 7 out of 10. I'm looking forward to the next one. I'm curious what they'll do with that.
Yeah, I think it's made enough money that they can justify a sequel.
Yeah, now they won't have to spend like $50 million fixing it because they already know what it needs to look like. But other than that, yeah, we'll talk more about it in the spoiler cast because I think there's some stuff that's worth discussing and some stuff that's worth chatting about. Plus, content. Smash Bros. Cinematic Universe, when, damn it. We have Sonic, we have Pikachu. Like, give us Star Fox, screw it. Like, if you only want to do the furry characters from Smash, that's fine. I'll watch a Star Fox movie. It's the Space Red States. Oh, damn. What's the next thing on the list? What else we got? Oh, you're still in a rabbit hole.
I am in a rabbit hole.
Tell us about
maybe a hedgehog hole.
Okay, let's not say that.
No, wait, yeah. delete.
No, I'm not deleting
Backspace.
Yeah, I'm not deleting it from the VOD.
I mean, he does have a hole in the ground that he lives in for a while.
I would have called it a cave, but that's just me. A mystic cave, if you will. That's just a stage. Also, it's doing pretty well. It has like a, $68 million debut, $100 million global. That's not bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've been watching some movies in your spare time.
Heck yeah, I have. So I watched... We watched last night. It's not called...
It's Fast and Furious.
Furious.
Fast and Furious is 4. Fast and the Furious, and then good lord.
Should have been Fast and the Furious, and the 5th one last night, Fast 5. And they continue to be absolutely wild. Just so homoerotic. Just so powerfully homoerotic, and just like bonkers. Gal Gadot was in this one, in both of them.
Oh.
The Rock shows up in the 5th one and is like this like super hard ass like he's FBI I think, but like he's like after them. the whole movie, and then at the end, like, he teams up with them because the bad guys killed his whole squad, and he's mad. But then at the end, he's like, but I'm still gonna try to take you in. But I like you so I'll give you an hour's head start.
Yeah, it's which like, is, like, bro, that's pretty, it's pretty gay, dude.
And then, like, even at the beginning, like, I was like, so the issue is that Brian O'Connor, Paul Walker's character, has somehow managed to get another job in law enforcement. After the first time walking away from his cop job to help Dom Toretto. 2, walking away from his, like, customs job to help, or, like, to, like, run off with some money. And then suddenly he's with the FBI as doing undercover work. And then this man runs into Dom again and completely throws everything away to help Dom. Literally, it is so incredibly gay.
I mean,
it's wild.
Look,
very curious to see what the fandom for Fast and the Furious looks like on AO3.
It's weird because, like, from what I can tell, the fandom for it that I can know of is, like, a lot of bros, but bros that are fine that like oh yeah, like, yo, these movies are pretty good. Like, yeah, that's fine. That's okay.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, so's wrestling. So I mean, it's a hell of a franchise. Yeah,
it's like bros that are fine with, you know, just, like, hanging out with their bros and, you know, maybe, like, abandoning your life to go help your bro. Who can say? I think
it was Cosmonaut Variety Hour. The guy Marcus there, he said a good drinking game that's very dangerous, but, like, if you want to play it during some of these movies, is every time drink anytime someone mentions family or is drinking a Corona, and, like, you'll probably die before the 5th one.
Yeah, there's a lot of both of those things, and, like, on top of that, the racing and everything is just wild.
Wait,
like,
there's racing in these movies?
I know, isn't that crazy? It's mostly, like, homoerotic touching, but, like, every once in a while they do it in a car.
Which, let me not shit on that. That shit, I know it's the most basic base instincts of me, but it's like, yo, that shit is crazy. Is it Fast and Furious, the one where they, like, go to Mexico through those underground tunnels that are, like,
through the tunnels? They drive through, like, fucking, like, mining tunnels, and then, like, at one point they pull a car out of the side of a train onto they pull this car out of the side of the train with, like, hydraulic cords onto, like, the bed of a flatbed pickup truck, and then tilt the flatbed up while they're all driving at the same rate as the train so that the car can slide down onto the ground and be driven away. Like,
it's so good.
It's so fucking wild. Yeah, and then the fifth one, they're in Rio. And there's, like, I was like, oh man, where's Lucio? Like, you're, like, having all these fights in the favelas.
Hey,
like,
stay out of Rio. Did I ever tell you my experience about when I saw Fast and Furious?
Mm-mm.
So I saw it freshman year of college, and I knew these skater dudes. Like, the guy that I knew was, like, an engineering.
He was a skater boy.
Yeah, he was a guy that, like, went to boarding school. Like, he was a black DJ. That was an engineer. Also was a skater dude or biker guy, like, whatever, skating and biking. He's like, hey, me and my buddies got, like, these preview tickets to Fast and Furious. It's not out for, like, another week or so. Do you want to go? I'm like, yeah, I'll go see a free movie. So.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine going to a movie with the same energy of, like, no one gives a shit if you'd, like, talk through this movie because we're all friends here and we've seen it before, but you're in a movie theater for a movie that you haven't seen before, but everybody's in on the this is fucking stupid train. They're just, like, making jokes in the movie. Like, they're being assholes, and I really hope nobody was there, like, seriously for it, but I think we were all with the same group. But the point when, like, Vin Diesel drops, like, an engine block on somebody and, like, catches the chain... so it doesn't, like, smash the guy's head. He's like, I need you to tell me what's going on. Apparently you can do that, but it's the most ridiculous thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. And that was probably one of the best movie-going experiences that I've ever had. And those are the only 2 Fast and Furious movies that I've seen, was Tokyo Drift and Fast and Furious, that I've seen, like, all the way through from start to finish. I can't tell you much what happens in them, other than the engine block and the tunnels.
It's just wild. Yeah, it's so much. I can't wait to watch the last 4 of them. We're gonna watch 6 and 7, and then 8 and Hobbs and Shaw, so that we're ready.
That's But you're certainly on a journey that I don't know why you did that, but I'm glad you're doing it because it seems like a good idea.
I'm just having a grand old time.
If we were to do one of those like drinking game movie parties like you used to do, which like 2 would you want to do? Because I don't think that it needs to be like the whole thing, but I want to watch like 2 Fast and Furious movies. Would you start with the first 2, or would you just jump into like Tokyo Drift and Fast and Furious?
Yeah, I think I would start with those, because the first 2, they're fine. They're like, they don't really add anything to the narrative, and it actually makes more sense to not know about them because there's so many weird shit that like Brian gets away with that he shouldn't have.
I feel like it gets fully into its like ridiculousness in 3 and 4, where you can like watch them in like a semi-ironic way while still having a good time. Without so from like a feminist point of view, where do these ones stand? Like, better than the first like, 2, worse?
Better than the first 2. I mean, like, Dom's girlfriend questionably dies for like the full 2 movies. Like, part of the whole thing in Fast and Furious is that like he's trying to avenge her death, and then it's like, oh, but maybe she's alive, haha, at the end of the 5th one. So like, I don't know what that says about Fridging. Like, his sister gets much of a more major role in the last 2 movies. Like, Mia, she gets pregnant in the 5th one, so like she's like trying to avoid like doing dramatic, like, too risky of stuff, but like
arguably a good idea.
Yeah, which is probably a good idea when you are carrying a child. I don't know, they introduced like a cool Brazilian cop who's a translator who works with Hobbs for part of the movie and then turns on him because her loyalty is to Brazil over to him, basically, I guess. Like, but then she like joins up with Dom's squad, like, and there's like tension between her and Dom, like.
I mean, that could be said for the whole entire cast, though. Like,
when they find out that Letty's alive, there's gonna be drama.
I need to watch these movies again. Oh,
it's gonna be wild.
Is that? Go ahead.
Oh, they also, based on a quick eyeball tally on AO3, there are 2,100 fanfics in the Fast and the Furious series tag, and then anywhere from 42 for Tokyo Drift to 433 topping out for the Fast and the Furious, the original.
Oh no.
So yeah, someone's out here writing fanfic. I can't imagine it's with those kind of numbers, it's either that there's a very dedicated fan base writing really great fanfic, or there's a very dedicated fan base, but they're not writing very good fanfic.
I don't know which makes more sense. I'm gonna be honest with you.
So like I'm trying to imagine, is it like a group of like older millennial lesbians who are just really into this series writing fanfic, or is it like
anything you tell me
teens?
I would believe. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It has to be like people our age, because I can't imagine. Well, it might be teens. I can't imagine a teen getting into this franchise, but stranger things have happened. I don't know. It's a wild franchise overall.
All right, so there's a lot of all right, what in the fuck? I clicked through to the series page. And so, like, the first 2 are Hobbs/Shaw fanfics with tracks, even just watching a trailer for something. Yeah. The 3rd one starts with Arya Stark/Gendry Waters, Grey Worm/Missandei, and then Hattie Shaw, who is presumably Shaw's wife, and Podrick Payne, who is a character also in Game of Thrones. So all of these characters, except for Hattie,
Hey, so
are Game of Thrones characters.
So I think your lesbian theory is holding some weight.
Yeah. Oh, here's one with Edward Cullen and Bella Swan in it.
So I mean, this goes with my theory from last week that there's like some crossover between Twilight fans and Fast and Furious fans.
Yeah, also Naruto fans and Fast and the Furious fans. Pretty sure that maybe, well, there's no ship tags in this, but the only tags are Uzumaki Naruto and Mia Toretto. So you can say...
You know what? Sometimes a family is just one person performing shadow jutsu. Oh, I don't know what to do with that information.
Here's Wonder Woman. Well, I guess that makes sense because Gal Gadot's in these movies.
That's less of a stretch. That could actually be funny.
That's less of a stretch.
Oh, I've been Wonder Woman the whole time. That's why I've never died. Right? Oh wow, there's so much that. Oh.
Groot and Bob Ross.
Okay, Vin Diesel voices Groot. I don't know why Bob Ross is there.
No, yeah, that's...
Oh, man.
Where is any of this tying into the Fast and the Furious? None of these characters tagged are from the Fast and the Furious. Anyway, so we're getting off track. I'm gonna go down... This is truly a rabbit hole. I don't need to... Ooh, one in Chinese, 61,000 words, Alpha, Beta, Omega Dynamics, and Mpreg. Ooh, there truly is something for everyone in this world. Alright, on that bright note...
So, we have Overwatch League and My Hero Academia to talk about. I'll talk about Overwatch League quickly. The production is rough. I'm not going to say anyone's bad at their job because I can't imagine how difficult this stuff is, but they're definitely running into like a lot of production glitches and issues. They had to pause some of the games yesterday pretty frequently, which you can imagine during imagine they had to pause a football game, but like after the play started. Mm-hmm. But they didn't call a timeout and stop the play. It's just like, stay where you're at, and we'll tell you when to move again. So stuff like,
out.
And imagine they could make the ball float. So stuff like that was happening in one of the matches. But other than that, I mean, the talent is doing a really good job. Zoe is a great host. She's doing a really good job. Custa and Reinforce are great. Scott and Johnny, and then they have a different person each week, a guest. I have to shout out to Johnny. Reinforce. He keeps wearing turtlenecks, one a week, and they look pretty good. Our Swedish guys. I want to say that the desk is bringing a lot of heat from an attractiveness standpoint. It's great to be by sometimes.
Love that for us.
It's so wonderful. It's weird to have like, oh, I've seen some of these people in person before, like not talked to them, but like, going to the finals, you'll see people. I remember when me and Brandon went to Brandon's my brother. When we went to the finals last year, we were just kind of sitting next to the Bud Light party zone. Hashtag trademark. And we're like looking like off in the distance because it's like hot outside. Like, I don't know what to do right now. I'm just sweating, and we're waiting for your brother to show up. Like, this is stupid. Like, it's so hot out here. It's supposed to not be hot. And then like a lot of people just keep walking in our general direction, and we're like, what's going on? Like, they're not walking towards us, but like in our direction. And I look over and like Zoe's there. It's like, oh, they want to take pictures with like one of the hosts, and I'm like, I don't want to be like that guy's like, oh, hey, you're famous, so I want to take your picture, because I don't know anything about her. I just know that she like hosts Overwatch League. But one of the hosts did want to take a picture with my brother. Or, well, my brother wanted to take a picture with him because, like, we were in line to get a beer, and he's like, whoa, who's this guy? I bet you he's never had a beer before. And my brother's like, what are you talking about? I was like, you're jacked, man. He's like, yeah, but I like beer. So he came back and took a picture with one of the guys. It was pretty funny. But back to the games. I feel bad for the Outlaws fans. The Outlaws are not doing good this season. They got 3-0'd both matches they played this weekend. Mm-hmm. I think they just need to knock some of the rust off. It's early in the season. There's been teams that lost, like, lose 2 games and then go to have a good season. There's teams that have won almost every game and never made it that far into playoffs. So it really only matters what you do like in the last end of the season. But Washington Justice is doing pretty well. I think they lost their game yesterday, but they won today. They were the first crowd to get booed because they were going against the home team Philadelphia, which that's good to see. The crowds are passionate, and it's weird to see people booing because they want to boo, but they're not like mad. They're like half smile, like, yo, F you guys. But like the people getting booed are loving it almost more than the home crowd. They're like spinning their hand around like to put up to their ear. They're like waving the crowd up, like, oh yeah, we're gonna come in here, we're gonna like fight you guys or whatever. So it's spicy. It's fun to watch, like, and they just sit down and laugh and like, oh man, we're getting booed, like whatever, because it's, I don't know, it's just fun. It's fun. Philly won both of their games. They did very well.
Nice. Let's go Fusion.
Yeah, let's go Fusion. That's my team. Yeah, they're doing pretty good. I no major complaints, but the dude Carpe, one of their DPS players, popped off yesterday. There's you can go back and watch the videos of it, but they were losing a map or one stage of a map. I don't know how to put it when it's sections, but they were losing a round of a map, and it's like, oh man, they got to do something, or they're about to lose the first round, and he just comes back with Widowmaker, and it's like, yeah, dog, you're not gonna. What do you expect to get done? And he just pops off and just like pops a bunch of dudes. It's like, oh, guess that's exactly what you needed to do. And it was
All right,
a really hype
job.
moment, and they went on to win the match. They won 3-0 against the Justice, but like the game was a lot closer in all the rounds than the score would dictate. A lot of good stuff. If I wanted to get into it, there's like technical jargon, like the Washington Justice was very desperate at the end of one map and performed a back cap, which is going behind the team to capture the point when they're not looking or paying attention. It often gets confused with a C9. It's when a team will leave the point before capturing it or without capturing it to keep fighting. When it's an objective-based game, it's named after the team that did it, Cloud9. That's slightly different. There's a difference between, hey, let's we've captured the point and someone snuck up behind us, versus, hey, let's not capture the point, let's go fight. But you know how internet culture is. But it was pretty impressive. I mean, Washington still didn't win, but it was like a nice nail biter, and they interviewed one of the Fusion guys, like, so how did it feel when they got the point behind you guys, and Poco, like their tank player, French guy's like, oh, we just wanted to make it a little bit more exciting, let the crowd see a little bit more gameplay. Obviously not what happened. They just got caught on their back foot, but I like the little bit of spice in the trash talk. So it's been a really good season so far. I'm really enjoying it. Golden Boy was a host at Philadelphia. The US system where they have a desk back in California, like the Blizzard place, and they have like the local people like doing the casting and stuff like that. So it was good to watch. And like I said, I don't know if I said this before after the cast, but Gritty was there.
Yes, nice.
Yeah, that was on the show. There was on the show. Yeah, Gritty was there, so
love it.
Can't go wrong with that. And the Philly crowd is the delight to see. So that's the Overwatch report. I recommend you all watch it.
I do have to jump back real fast.
Oh, hey,
regarding feminism as regards the Fast and the Furious movies, because I remembered something, which is that Fast and the Furious franchise, albeit in a salacious way, showed two women kissing on screen in Fast and Furious, which predates any Harry Potter film, any Star Wars film, any Marvel movie. They're really doing the heavy lifting on representation in the Fast and the Furious franchise, both racially and for the gays.
Yeah, I mean, like, we have like homoerotic subtext and pure text, so it's good.
And actual text. Yeah, it's so
I know it's not always the most useful metric, but does it pass the Bechdel test in any you've seen so far?
I cannot remember, but I don't think so.
Okay, I think it does later on, because some of the women start fighting about like something else.
I was gonna say, because typically there's only like one woman per scene, or like if there are more than one woman per scene, they're all in heist mode.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
But
yeah, okay. Just curious.
So
last thing we got.
Let's jump onto it.
Let's jump onto these other the other queer subtext.
These other homoerotic idiots.
My Hero Academia, and the dub is catching up slowly but surely, and we are on the second episode, and the first like actually getting to get going episode of My Hero. I think it's episode 16, but they're in the remedial class. Bakugo and Todoroki, and some of the kids from the other academy are there. The Wind guy and Kami, who I don't know what her quirk is, because last time we saw her, she was Toga. And you're right, there are some good Endeavor Todoroki interactions going on. All Might I like sassy All Might. He still talks shit, even though like he can't fight anybody. Todoroki is incredibly bad at talking to people. That's funny to me.
I know, it's just so funny. He's so awkward.
It's funny because you don't think about it, because he's normally around a lot of people.
I know, like usually it's just in like a crowd and is not called upon to interact like one-on-one in any like major way.
But he's bad like, I understand being bad talking to kids, but like he's embarrassingly bad, and So is Bakugo, but in a way you would expect.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm enjoying this so far. I like the Tess Proctor. He is the most like, I don't hate you because you're kids. I just hate everybody. I'm so tired. I'm enjoying. President Mike's just a funny character all the time. It's been a while since Horikoshi has given us just random fan service for no reason. That caught me off guard. It's like, hey, there's a scene. There's just Cammy's butt. Like, okay, cool. That's fair,
right,
I guess.
That's where we are again.
I forgot about this since it was only that one scene with Bubble Girl back on the tickle machine. We kind of were thinking about fighting. But, I mean, other than that, the episode was fun. Little kids are the devil, and that's fine. It's odd that that Cammy character is so dumb. But then I remember, like, I feel like we haven't seen any, like, dumb ditzy people yet. Like, there's a lot of dummies in Class 1A. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen anyone who's, like, ditzy on top of that.
No, yeah.
That was new to me. But not a lot to say about it. They just have to like, learn to deal with people and gang orcas. Like, you have to, you four are bad, so you have to learn how to be nice to kids. Actually, it's just you three dudes. Cammy, we don't really know much about you, because, you don't know what's going on, so we're just going to talk about these three.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It's fun seeing the different dynamics. Do you have any comments on it?
It's just like, it's very fillery and very dumb, and I love it very much. This is like the only show I've ever watched where I'm like excited for dumb filler episodes, because I'm just having so much fun.
Yeah, from what I can tell, I think the filler in this show is like not what some people would call filler in the traditional sense. Like, it's not filling to catch up to the manga. It's just like garbage that was in the manga already. Like, I think this is still source material. So some people would say it's not filler. I mean, I think it is, because it's not like the major plot. But I don't know. I like the slice of life stuff in shonen anime. Like, I like when Goku and Piccolo learned how to drive in that one episode of Dragon Ball Z. Like, it was completely superfluous. It didn't help anybody, but it was funny seeing Piccolo and Goku wear like clothes that weren't battling clothes, you know? I liked seeing Froppy go on her side adventure. I liked seeing Bakugo get taught how to maintain his hair by Best Jeanist. I mean, this is fun stuff, you know? It's not like the arc we're about to go on isn't mostly filler anyway.
Yeah, for real.
So I'm liking it. I would agree with you. And I guess I was going to start stalking Deku. That was in the preview. That's weird.
Yeah, that was a weird episode. Like, we can talk about it more once you've watched it next week. But that was,
I mean,
I felt like they made more out of it in the preview and in the episode than it actually ended up being.
It was just weird, because, like, Deku's like, here's a preview, and, like, all the stuff you think you're going to get, like, in a preview. He's like, oh, and Ayama's acting weird. Bye. Like, wait, okay, hold on. Like, you made this seem like something that's going to matter, but not that much, so why'd you just throw it in like that? You think that's what's going to make me come back next week? Like,
man, new Aoyama content. I can't wait.
Like, literally the least interesting character in all of Class 1A, like, to me anyway. Like, people hate Mineta, but that's a reaction. He's like
yeah, that's a reaction to bad behavior.
Yeah, like, oh, hey, I don't like that guy. Cool. What about Ayama? He has less of a presence than the Invisible Girl.
It's like, I neither do nor don't care about him.
And there's people with worse quirks, like the tail. Trash quirk. But, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. The only thing I know about the next episode, I thought it was a fan edit, but I think it might be real. Just like a Bakugo reaching out to somebody and looking like not a mean person. Like, that's disturbing, but okay. I assumed it was fan art, but I'm starting to think that it wasn't fan art. It's just a clip from the show. Who knows? But it feels weird to say, like, spoilers for episodes like this where it's like, dog, it's a class.
Yeah.
Just go watch it. But I think that's everything we have for this week,
all
right?
of it. That is all of it.
Longer episode than we've been hitting, but that's fine. It's good to get the stuff out there.
Yeah, some of this is pre-roll too. Yes.
So we have another episode for Sakurai would say good boys and girls, and folks of all genders. It's quality content.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Is there anything going on with Pokemon? I feel like something's going on with Pokemon.
Not that I know of, but
Me
that doesn't
either.
mean anything.
It should just nothing. Okay, that's fine. You want to hit people with the social media biz?
Sure, I will hit the folks. So if you... And also, like, I don't know what happened last week. I was, like, hit with, like a time slowdown machine. I was just like, and
that was
the
weird.
thing is, I genuinely, like, I wasn't looking at a different, like, browser page or anything, or, like, at my phone. It just, like, none of it was coming to me in the speed it ought to have. But anyway, if you want to find us on the internet, you can find Character Reveal at characterreveal.simplecast.fm. You can find it... So that'd be in your browser. You can find it on Facebook at Character Reveal. You can find it on Twitter at Character Rev. You can find it on Instagram at Character Reveal. You can follow us on Patreon and support your family, like Dom Toretto would. You can find us, let's see, on any podcatcher of your choice. Be that iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play Podcasts, etc. If any of those sources, mediums require or like offer the ability to rate and review a podcast, it would be great if you did that. We'd love it. And if you have like questions or comments or like suggestions for improvement or like for guests or anything like that, or just want to hit us with a hello in a more private way, you can email us at characterreveal@gmail.com. And then the private details, which are like the personal deets, Dom's everywhere he wants to be found on the internet at Brother Dom.
That's me, Brother Dom.
I've got a slightly more diverse range of usernames as opposed to a monolithic branding like Dom. I am Captain Steph on Twitter, the Snowqueer on Tumblr, and Hella Steph on Instagram. That's Hella_Steph. I always forget that. But yeah, come hang out with us in any of those places. Give us a follow, a like, a rating, a review, an email, or a Patreon support. I don't know, any of those things.
Yeah, just
interact.
Hit us up in some way.
Be a friend.
It would be much appreciated. And I think that's an episode, right?
I think so.
I think we did it.
Let's hit end on this.
Hey, yeah.
Buddy.
Well, folks, thank you so much for listening to another episode of Geekly Reveal. We appreciate you sticking with us each and every week for all the listens and the comments. And until next time, see you later.
Bye. Oh, I'm yawning.